One car I'd really like to get finished and out of here is Larry's Court. And it's not because it's been a really difficult job all the way through.
I'm gonna get so old they won't give me a license anymore, and you're gonna say to me, hey, car's ready.
It's because Larry really, really wants his toy back, and that's a bit of an issue.
I just don't want to be yelled at. He yelled at me yesterday.
When does the engine do that?
2 weeks.
Please tell me we're not waiting for more.
But we're still waiting for parts. We just got a box in and we haven't...
What are we doing, Dave? When am I ever gonna drive my car?
Dave, can you give Larry Burns a call, please?
I'm really hoping that Larry's going to get his car the next day or at least Friday.
Dave, Larry Burns on line 1 again.
Right first. Stuck in reverse. Right now, we're only going backwards.
It appears that we have another issue with Larry's 37 Court.
Yeah, I guess we need to get forward gears because Larry probably can't drive that fast in reverse.
We're so close to completing this car, but we've got one more issue, and that is the way that the starter and the clutch system are set up.
The engineering in the Court is interesting, to say the least. Somebody went, geez, wouldn't it be fun if you pushed the clutch all the way to the floor and the car started?
So now I'm gonna need second gear, so I pre-select my second gear. I'm driving along, clutch in, one steamboat, you can hear it click into gear, and then you're in second.
But you don't want it to be hitting the starter motor every time it comes down, so it's got a cutoff switch underneath the pedal.
Just trying to think if the problem is inside the switch.
You know, if this switch doesn't work properly, when you go to put it in gear, you push your foot down again, and it's going to re-engage the starter motor.
And the starter drive gear is gonna hit that ring gear that's already spinning that shouldn't be.
Well, it makes a horrendous bang and eventually just breaks everything in sight.
And it'll eventually wear all the teeth off and you won't be able to start the car.
Really fine engineering.
Back in that day, what the engineers were thinking is simplicity, but it's really just a bag of crap.
The Auburn-Duesenberg company was really struggling by 1933, and in an attempt to save the company, they created the Cord. The Cord was a magnificent Art Deco treasure. Unfortunately, it wasn't as good a car as it looked, and it was a little eccentric for the average guy to want to buy. Because of its looks and because it was just over-engineered without the kind of budgets to problem solve it all, it really became a bit of a failure.
Okay, power on.
Brad has a couple of options. He can either keep on going, try to fix it the way it was, or he can just remove everything and just have a simple switch. This little Mini came in quite a long time ago. The client wanted to do it in sort of increments. Man, it was pretty rough. I mean, it needed a complete and comprehensive restoration. So there's, you know, a lot of metal work, there's all kinds of, you know, body work, of course, a complete interior.
So last year we rebuilt the motor. The car was a nut and bolt restoration. It's new everything. Suspension's rebuilt.
We've done some light customization, like on the dashboard and things like that. And finally, after a couple of years, it's ready to go.
It's back together now. We're gonna go through it, do our checklist on it, make sure it runs down the road good, and then it's ready to go home.
Looks good, eh? It looks good in the sunlight. Minis really came to prominence in the 60s, and I mean, they were like a cool car in their time. He's gonna have a lot of fun with this car.
Oh, yeah.
But probably what cemented their international reputation was the movie The Italian Job, where you see Minis like driving across dams and running in circles on rooftops and all that kind of thing. I'm playing hooky. You know what? This is such an easy car to get in and out of compared to everything that I drive these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for a little car, there's so much space in here.
They were very cleverly designed. It's literally a box. There's not very much from the dashboard back as far as mechanicals. Everything's up front. So all of that room that's normally taken up with transmission tunnels and all that kind of thing it's not there.
Hear the power.
Oh, yeah, it's just like a 427. Oh, this is one of those.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do, just like knot yourself in?
Yeah, it's like a 5-point harness, except there's no point.
Hasn't broken down yet. We're almost off the lot. That's moving down the road pretty smartly.
Yeah. Fun little car, though.
It is, yeah. I forgot how noisy they are.
Oh, yeah. What the hell is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, it sounds like an axle or something.
Take it out of gear and see if it... Okay, there you can hear it. It's not a rattle. It's too rhythmic to be a rattle.
It's a weird sound. There's no vibration. There's nothing through the stick. It almost sounds like a trumpet. It's going...
I don't know. What do you think? Maybe we should get her back to the barn?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
So we've been messing around with the clutch cutout switch on the cord for a while. It's kind of like one of those little design flaws that if you didn't like feather the clutch, it's going to engage a starter, banging the starter against the ring gear and taking the teeth out. So we've bypassed that. We're just using a manual starter button, and the clutch will function as a normal clutch would. Well, you turn your key ignition on, clutch in, push the starter button, engages the starter, the engine started. For everybody's safety of the car, that's the way we hooked it up, and I think it's way better like that. Just a couple of little stiff spots in there. Larry's coming again. He shows up like every week. When am I gonna get my car? I show him something, and he's like, yeah, that's nice, that's nice. When am I gonna get my car? Now I'm still working on it. I got the fenders on. I still have to put on the nose pieces, the lower grille, the exhaust that comes out and goes through the fenders has to go on, and I have to make the crank headlights work. It's not done by electricity. You actually have a little crank on the dash, and it makes the headlights come out of the fender. They're a little fussy. They're 80 years old. Everything was pretty crusty and rusty under there. It's almost ready. We're on short strokes now, but if he keeps coming and bugging me, I'm not going to get anything done.
Oh, here we are.
He's very anxious for his car. I wish he lived farther away, then he wouldn't show up. Hey, Larry.
How you doing, partner?
So,
Wow.
fenders are on.
Wow, wow,
Just
wow.
trying to get all this stuff working, lined up.
So what about the switch now?
New switch. You're gonna have the button to push.
All right, this does look good, though. I'm really happy to see this.
Stand there, Larry, and I'll crank this open for you.
Sure, sure, sure. Let's have a look. Real automatic.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the light? My next visit is going to be probably pretty scary. There's no lamp or anything in
Well,
here.
it's
Now, Brad told me to be optimistic and be happy, so I've got to be happy and optimistic, right?
ready
Looks
to
good,
go
though.
in.
I like it. I like it. Looks cool. I like to see the whole mechanism. That's cool.
Right here. See that mark? I'm gonna have to zip these off.
Should I come up tomorrow?
No, but you can't have it tomorrow.
Are you trying to do it for 3 years?
So on the road test, we noticed that there was a little bit of a rubbing sound underneath. So I'm gonna get Ron to get it up in the air and take a look at it.
But we're gonna have to come up at least 4 inches.
Is your plate all the way down?
Yep.
I probably got 3 inches.
Did I just see Greg actually pick up a car to get it moved?
Ready?
Yep.
And these cars are so low, and the hoist's not set up to put these little cars on, so sometimes you have to give them a little bit of a nudge and to get the hoist arm slid underneath them to get them up in the air.
You ready?
Yeah.
Apparently, I've wasted all this money on hoists. I could have just hired Greg earlier.
As soon as we got it up in the air, it was pretty obvious that the drive shaft cup was hitting on the header. Right here. See that mark? I touched on the exhaust, so this caught on the floor.
Look at that.
It is tight.
It's so low, that car. When Greg and Dave were driving it out of the shop, it bottomed out on the ramp and knocked the exhaust out of position. So we had to reposition the exhaust. The clamp that was on there was hanging down too far. So we put like a band clamp on it, they call it. So it just gives us a little more ground clearance. Okay, we're gonna have to cut these off here. Yeah, I can cut them off and move it up a lot more. Because it's just ground clearance. I'm trying to get as much clearance as possible. I'm gonna have to zip these off. we go. As you can see now, we got lots of ground clearance. Much better. Huh. It's a weird seatbelt. Huh. That doesn't work very well. Oh, hang on. Hang on. It's like it's a one-way thing. But that's weird. So we took it out for a quick road test, and the car ran quite well. No problems whatsoever. That little car runs along nice. I think it's pretty well ready to give back to the customer.
Larry's been phoning a lot, you know, like a lot.
Dave,
so.
Larry Burns on line 1 again.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Larry has been calling David a lot, like 3-4 times a day.
He's not only phoning me during the day, he's just checking in the evening to see if there's anything that I can tell him that he might have missed during the phone calls during the day.
So what's happened today?
It hasn't come down onto its wheels today. There was messing about with little things and adjusting the hood and getting it right.
Look how low it's here. What this is. And touching here, it's bad, yeah.
So you can't have it tomorrow.
Oh, are you trying to do it for 3 years?
I mean, if this damn car doesn't go out the door in the next 2 days, I'll probably have to kill him.
So what are we doing? What's the next step?
I want you to come on Thursday and drive the car,
Okay.
if it's ready.
Should I come up tomorrow or not?
No, I don't think you should come up tomorrow, no.
All right, bud. You better phone me on Wednesday if you got bad news for me again.
Sure.
All right.
All right. I've had a lot of fun delaying this project by as much as possible because it torments Larry no end.
If this was my old Volkswagen, maybe I'd throw a little bit of Bondo in and call it a day, but we really want to do this vehicle justice. At very long last, the molded polycarbonate headlight lenses came for this vintage Ferrari, so I can finally make the headlight units up and finish up the front of the body. Now that I have put together and shaped this little ledge, I have to put a full weld on the inside so nothing cracks. The process I'm using is called TIG welding and is the process of choice when you're welding thin aluminum, stainless steel, things like that. When you're welding, you're joining like materials with the same material. So in this case, I've got multiple pieces of aluminum that I'm joining together by heating and melting an aluminum filler rod into the gap between them. Just finished the inside of this fillet. It's got a nice, clean, shiny bead all the way around. So that's exactly what I want. And you can see that it fits nicely. I've got a little bit of warpage and expansion, but I can bend this by hand, shrink a little bit. This will then get covered by a trim ring, and that will be the headlight on the front of the car. And now that I have this properly made on both sides, I've got to bring the fender in to match it just perfectly. And I'm just working the curves and stretching it over. What I'm working on right now is the most complex part of the headlamps. This area needs reverse curve to fit properly. Every shape references and flows into every other shape in the car, and it has to be smooth and balanced. And the headlight lenses are these sort of jelly bean curves that have to flow absolutely perfectly on all edges into the body. Now this lines back up over here where it was supposed to. Lovely. Nice and tight there, nice and tight there. Make sure it's all where it needs to be and weld it. I work really hard to tack everything together, butt it up right, and then use a little pry bar to get in there and get everything just right. There we go. Because if they're a little bit off and you put a weld in, you're gonna have a lot of trouble getting a nice smooth surface and even thickness of metal. If this was my old Volkswagen, maybe I wouldn't worry so much about it and I'd throw a little bit of Bondo in and call it a day, but we really want to do this vehicle justice, and so we're really doing everything we can to put in the time and the care to make it or as close to what it was when it came off the line.
It's acting strange.
Nope. Oh, I was going to say.
Now it's got no gear.
But it's not supposed to do that.
Oh,
The hell was that?
I don't know.
I am here to see the cord, which I'm hoping and praying, as I have every other time I've come here, to check and see if it's ready yet or not. So I've been told that it's ready. But seeing is believing, and driving is definitely believing. Morning, Kim.
Hey Larry, how you doing today?
Perfect, thanks.
So Larry's coming today to get his cord, and I mean, he's excited. It's almost done.
Dave. I'm here to see it.
Of course you are.
Show me.
Brad had it out yesterday. There are some adjustments that need to be made, and these adjustments could end up being critical problems if it's not adjusted properly. The transmission works well,
Right.
but it dropped out of gear a couple of times. So there's tweaking needs to be done. I want him to see the car, and I want him to sort of take it out for a drive with Brad, but I really am reluctant to give it to him today. And then there's some cosmetic issues that we haven't had time to catch up to yet. I'd rather give it to him next week, knowing that everything is just exactly as it should be.
So we're thinking what? Go out, try it out for
Drive
a while.
it today, and
Drive for
I
a
would.
few months and then bring it back. They said it would be ready, it'd be perfect, it'd be wonderful, but we did find a few things. But mechanically, I'm just a bit.
I have never, ever said that. Not once. Not once have I ever said it's going to be ready because I know better.
My main concern is let's get out and see whether or not it really drives. That's the most important thing of all. Let's give it a shot. And the button is still. Oh, it's that one right there.
Yeah, it's the same one. This is the first time it's never started. Except for the first time when you came to look at it. So it's the second time.
Yeah. May the force be with us. She sounds good, though.
It's acting strange. It's not great going up the hill either. These brakes could be a little better too.
Nope. Oh, I was going to say.
Now it's got no gear. There it went in the second. See?
Oh, there's your wiper going.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to do that, okay? Oops. Oh, the hell was that?
I don't know.
You guys thinking we lost something here?
There you go.
But she's cruising along really nice.
Yeah.
Of course, great.
We ran into a little rainstorm and, you know, the top's down and the vacuum wipers don't all work that great. Ow. That hurts when it gets in the eye.
Yeah, you feel it, can't you?
Yes. Better to keep moving. If I stop, we're gonna get soaked.
Yeah, I know. This is probably the only time this car will ever see rain. Everybody's gonna figure we're nuts driving in the rain, eh?
Yep.
If you were to put the top up, we need 2 men and maybe a donkey to help us haul it up because it's a big job to put those tops up and down. It never goes that we can just come out and just take a regular drive. Why is there always something? Now it's rain, but at least it's running. Yeah, now the rain stops, right? So what are we looking at? We're looking at, is that 81 years old or something?
Yeah. Second oldest car I've ever worked on.
Let's leave her going, pal. Brad, that was perfect, buddy. I like everything other than maybe doing adjustment on the brakes.
Yep.
I thought it handled perfect. I loved it. But it was a big thrill. I would just felt really tremendous about it. Other than the fact we got caught in the rainstorm. and I'm still trying to get dried, you know. Is this part that fell off?
No, it's one of my projects.
Oh.
Now, Larry's pretty happy with the cord. He was ecstatic about the fact that it ran so well. It's shifting fine once they got onto it. You know, everything was good except they got caught in a rainstorm, which is a little amusing.
So this means the constant phone calls and drop-ins are gonna end.
And, well, for now, until I bring it back again, right? Yep. So I'm very excited to drive it and putting it in the garage, and then my wife will say, is this what you've spent all your time worrying about? And I'll say, yes, of course it is.
It's good to go, Larry.
All right, bud. Thanks,
Take
pal.
her along for another 80 years.
See you, pal. All right. See you later, Dave.
You know, after 2 years of working on that damn cord, to see it driving away, there's a mixed emotion going on. One is, thank God it's driving away.
Oh, it's got so it's underneath the reverse.
And two is, oh my God, I hope it's not going to break down.
Okay. See you later, Commander.
See ya.
Signal's on.
You didn't take the plate off the back.
How long do you think he'll drive with the single on? Well, he's happy anyway. That's the main thing.
Well, for how long? That's the thing.